Okay, so there are not very many people who. Sorry, the lighting is terrible. There's not very many people who have done like videos explaining how to play Magic the Gathering. So this video is an introduction to very basics of Magic the Gathering. And by basics, I mean basics. These are basic lands. This is from the recent Spider-Man set. They're really cool. That one's shiny. It's hard to tell, but it's shiny. Some cards are shiny like that. But they're easier to see in different light. This is not shiny. You can kind of see the difference. Some cards are more obvious than others. But these are what basic lands are. What are basic lands? Well, there's different colors, obviously. You have 5 colors. Red, green, white, blue, and black. They're named this way. The reds are mountains, are typically mountains. Like, this is not, like, that symbol right there is the red mountain symbol, like this. That's what the mountain symbol is. That's what the forest symbol is. Island. Forest again, but shiny. Plains. That's the plain symbol. And that's the swamp symbol. Now, you're probably asking, what do these do? They do a variety of things. However, the main thing is that you use lands, like these, to cast spells. And we'll get into that. But I wanted to talk about basic lands. And I wanted to talk about what they are. Because this is the first thing you need to know about Magic. You need to know what spells are. You need to know what basic lands are. You need to know how to use these things. Because if you don't know how to use them, you can't play the game. Now, here's what you do. You grab one of these, and you have these in your deck. This is an island. And you play spells by tapping them. You tap them. To the right. Normally there's a tap symbol on stuff, and I will show you that eventually, but we're not there yet. I'm just explaining. What this does is it's like activating the card. You're activating what the card does. Tapping a piece of land activates it. This is not activated. This is activated. You've put something into your mana pool. There's a little pretend mana pool where it's just like a counter that tells you, hey, this is how much mana of this color you have, and this is what you can use. It's a pretend, like, you know, based off of the amount of lands you have, that's what you've tapped. So say you have like 10 islands, and you tap all 10 islands, that's what you have to use. All I'm explaining right now is that there are 5 different colors of Magic. There is a 6th color, which is colorless, but we're nowhere near that. That is a complicated subject. This is the easy side of things. This is just to show you how to play the game. Now, for those of you who have partners or people in your life that know how to play the game and they know everything to do about the game, they don't really explain this basic of the game. This is for the people who really want to learn the game and understand all of the rules. So, going back to the lands. The lands are these. They tap for mana. When they tap for mana, that puts mana into your mana pool, which allows you to play spells. We're not talking about spells. We're not talking about what creatures are. We're not talking about any of that. That's in the next video. Right now, what we're talking about is these things right here. These lands. Now, let's go over the colors again. You have a swamp, which is black. You have an island, which is blue. You have a plains, which is white. You have a forest, which is green. And you have a mountain, which is red. And they each have their own symbol, which is pictured on the card. Typically, it's pictured on the card. Sometimes it is not, depending on what version you are playing. Now, what you do with these lands is you tap them. That is all you do with them. You typically tap them. Your opponent might cause you to tap them. You might have to tap them to play a spell. You tap them, and they do things. That tells you that you have one island in your mana pool. I have one island in my mana pool. I have one forest in my mana pool. I have one plains in my mana pool. So what would I have? I would have an island, a forest, and a plains in my mana pool that I could use to play a spell. And they do things. Next video, we will talk about what spells are and what you can use these colors to cast them. For now, you just need to know that mana is tapped. You tap mana. You can tap them to the left. People tap them to the right. The typical tap sign is to the right. That is what the rules say, is that you tap it to the right to activate it. But people tap it to the left too. I've been known to do that the wrong way. But tapping is typically to the right. And there's cards that say to tap to the right. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to go over spells and what the mana is used for to activate it. I also want to go over one thing about Magic. You are a planeswalker, and that's why you're able to use this mana. And that, I know this is like a little more advanced, but bear with me. We're keeping it still simple. The lore and story behind Magic is that you are a planeswalker. You are traveling to these different lands, and you have these different abilities based off of the mana that you're playing. Then you're able to cast these creatures and artifacts, and you're able to summon all these different things to do your bidding while you're on this plane, this world. And then you're able to use the mana to cast the spells. You get to choose which color of person which color of planeswalker you are. You are your own planeswalker. You get to choose which color you want to be. Do you want to be red, like mountains? Green, like forests? White, like plains? Blue, like islands? Let's untap these so you can see the pictures a little bit better. That's called untapping, and we'll get into that. Or swamps, like black. Now, you get to choose which colors you want to play, but your creatures determine what colors you are as well. Your creatures or your spells or whatever you're playing. Mana is, you get to like learn that mountains have a certain way of play style that they go by. Forests have a certain play style that they go by. Plains have a play style that they go by. Islands have a play style that they go by. Even swamps have a play style that they go by. However, these you don't have to go based off of those play styles. You can just say, hey, I like green. I like the color green and I want to play green. I like the colors red, green, and black, and I want to play that. I don't care what they do. I just want to play those colors. You like the color blue and you want to play those colors. Go for it. There's strategies and things on how you can play based off of all those colors, and there's so many different ways of playing those colors. Now, the other thing with mana is that it is something that you're able to use. It is something that you're able to cast spells with, and you're able to play the spells in your hand with the mana. Mana is played, so you take it from your hand and you play it. You can play 1 mana per turn. 1. Unless you have a rule that says otherwise. There's always things that break the rules in Magic. There's going to be something that breaks the rules every single time. The current rule that we are going off of is that you can play one of these every turn. You have to keep track of if you've played one or not. There's ways of doing that. We're not there yet. I'm just explaining like as much of the basic Magic stuff as possible. I want anybody who's struggling to learn Magic to be able to not struggle. I want them to be able to grasp this concept. Which is why I'm keeping it super simple for this first video. And I'm already at 10 minutes. Okay, so we're doing that. That's what you're doing with your Magic. You're picking your color. What are the colors? Blue, black, red, green, white. Those are the colors. There's a color order, and we'll go over that. That's a simple subject. There's a color order called WUBRG. White, blue, black, red, and green. That is just a color order for the color pie that Wizards kind of designated, and it just became a thing. I don't know if the Wizards came up with it or if the players came up with it. It's white, blue, black, red, and green. It's a WUBRG because when you use the color symbols for the different colors when you're like writing them down or like talking to people about them, you use the W. And then because blue and black have the same first letter, players decided that you use the U in blue to indicate that it's blue and not black. Because black gets the B. So then you have B. And then red gets the R and green gets the G. That's where it's W, U, B, R, G. WUBRG. I'll text it out when I do a little synopsis of this in the video post. So that is the video for how to play Magic with the mana. We are just going over mana and what it does and how it's used. To go over again, the colors are white, blue, black, red, and green. Respectively, that's plains, islands, swamps, mountains, and forests. That's what gets put in your mana pool when you tap the mana. You tap it to the right or to the left. As long as it is indicated that it is tapped, that is what is in your mana pool at that time. That way later, you'll know, hey, I can't use this mana. It's tapped. It's done. It's done for the turn. We'll explain like turn order and everything else later. So, you tap mana to the left or the right to indicate that it's tapped and that you are using it. You use certain colors to cast certain spells to be able to do certain things. We'll get into that. That is, what we're doing. That is how you use the mana sources for the colors that you want to choose. Again, you're a planeswalker who is able to control these different colors. You get to choose which colors you want to be. Doesn't matter which color it is. And then you get to play those colors. And that's your mana source for the game. Now, in the next video, I'm going to go over creatures. That is the first type that we're going to talk about, is creatures. Because that is one of the main forms of ways that how you play the game, is with creatures. That you attack each other to win the game. I'm not going to get into the rules of how much life you have yet. We will get into that later. For now, I just wanted to focus on the mana. This is a 14-minute video now, and I'm going to end the video here. This is part 1 of the Magic series of... I don't know what to call this series yet. Introduction to Magic. Let's play Magic together. I don't know. It'll evolve over time where you guys tell me what you want it to be called. This is a very basic explanation. For those of you who find it hard to learn the game, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go over each of the simple concepts one at a time, and then learn it. In the next video, we're talking about creatures and how they're used, what they do, how to summon them, and how to play them. I look forward to seeing you in that video. This video is going to get uploaded now while I work on the next one. I will see you later. Bye!